Felix explores planet Earth. Story by Annette Langen. Illustrations by Constanza Droop. Without Sophie's secret plan, it never would have happened. If only I had a real hot air balloon, Sophie whispered excitedly. But maybe I should start smaller, Sophie thought. She looked up at the two red heart-shaped balloons floating over the back of the chair. Sophie had bought them for Mom and Dad's anniversary, but it would be all right to borrow them just for a little while. Sophie came out the porch door with the two balloons floating left and right over a breadbasket. Felix sat inside holding a pocket camera and his backpack and wearing a striped blue scarf so he wouldn't catch cold. "Don't worry," Sophie said. "I'm holding the string tight." Felix nodded and slowly the red hearts rose. As they drifted up, Sophie called, "What fun, Felix!" But as the balloons climbed higher and higher, Sophie started to worry that Felix would get dizzy. She began to roll up the string, but pling went the string. Sophie grabbed at the end, but it was too late. The end of the string slipped off the spool. "Help! Help!" Sophie yelled. The front door flew open. "Sophie, what's the matter?" Dad called out. "Felix has flown away," Sophie sobbed, pointing towards the church steeple. "Quick, after him," Dad said as they rushed to the bicycle, still in his slippers. They rode around all day, searching the sky and asking passerby, but there was no sign of the red balloons and the little rabbit. When the evening sky grew dark, a cold, despairing Sophie and helpless Dad went home with no Felix. When Sophie comes home from school a few days later, the mailman asks, "You're Sophie, right?" Sophie nods, and the mailman says, "Then I just delivered some mail for you." Sophie runs into the house so fast that she doesn't hear the rest. Important news for Sophie, 33 Elm Road, Mansfield, Ohio. From Felix, presently crash-landed somewhere. Should we open it, friends? Here we go. Somewhere crash-landed, January 31st. My dearest Sophie, I'm sure you are worrying, but you don't need to. The balloon flight was just fantastic, even if what happened with the string wasn't really planned. As you got smaller and smaller, I was a little nervous, and I was really scared when the balloons got so close to the pointing hands of the church steeple clock. Just imagine if they had popped. Luckily, there was a breeze that carried me off. This balloon really can't be steered, but you should have seen the big eyes on the old crows when I flew past. I tell you, they had never seen such a fashionable scarf so high up there. Unfortunately, the balloon suddenly sank, and I landed on a strange rooftop. It looked almost like a huge hard-boiled egg, cut in half. A sign said, "Planetarium." I lowered myself from the roof with the strings, and will now take a look around from the ground. I'll write again soon, promise. Hugs and kisses, your Felix. Sophie heaves a sigh of relief. Felix hasn't been hurt. But what is a planetarium? Maybe Julius will know, Sophie thinks, and she steps into his room with the letter. "Sure, I know about that," says her big brother, and he pauses. "Then tell me already," Sophie insists as she waves the envelope in front of his nose. Julius waits a little bit longer and then explains that a planetarium is a building with a dome for an overhead 3D movie about planets, comets, stars, and asteroids. Sophie thinks that sounds very interesting. The huge egg that Felix wrote about is the dome, and there happens to be one in Mansfield. "Why didn't you tell me that right away?" demands Sophie. She has to go there immediately. Together they take the bus, and soon Sophie is searching every nook and cranny in the planetarium. Suddenly, she discovers a blue, striped scarf. "This is from Felix," she whispers. Julius runs over. "Listen," he says. "Last night, an exhibition piece disappeared. A moon rocket." Sophie stares. She has a suspicion, but that just couldn't be. Or could it?